Hello beautiful people. So first thing first, I'm going to check on your water level. Today is the 7th day in this series. So the water level is low. Yes, last night I had to top up about 8 liters of their water. I'm not putting much because I'm trying to regulate their consumption so that with the medication so I don't get to put excess to waste. Because you know the medication is supposed to last for 24 hours. So I try to regulate the quantity of water I give them so I don't get to waste the medication. So from observation, their water consumption has picked up a little bit. The birds are growing. Today is the 6th day. So chill with me while I try to unfold this whole stuff. You see some of their feeders are already getting messy. I already checked on these birds this morning, early this morning, to check on their feed, and I noticed that they were out of feed. So what the plans I have this morning is to wash some of the feeders and then increase the number of feeders in the different section. So chill with me. So guys, this is what we have here. From my observation, I'm noticing that some of the Noilers are jumping off into this space where the Ross308 are, and also same thing with the Abor Acre. Some of them are now jumping into a different section. So what I'll be doing first thing first, I will increase the height of these blocks so that most of those crossing and jumping will not happen. You can see them, they are excited seeing the brighter lights, you know, because this light is much brighter than the lamp. The weather is quite dull in this part of the country. This period is a rainy day. So like I said, I'll increase the height of this block so that they don't get to cross their boundary, because I'm seeing one Abor Acre over there. That particular one there, where, yes, on the feeder, that's an Abor Acre. You know, it's not the Noilers, the ones that are white are not that white. So chill with me while I try to do this little adjustment here. So guys, I've been able to raise the blocks higher a little bit. So at this level, the birds will not be able to jump across their different sections. So you can see here. So I've raised it 2 foot. On the comment section some days ago, somebody commented that she would be scared of just leaving the blocks that they might fall inside. Yes, that's the truth. Because even last night when I got back from work, I noticed that some of the Noilers were in between the holes. So when you're running the farm, you need to be always cautious for some of these lapses. So I noticed some Noilers were inside of this hole because this is a hollow block. So I had to take them off. So this morning, I had to now raise these blocks up this way so that they don't have to jump across. Because at some point, the medications for the different sections are different. It's not ideal for you to raise different breeds of chickens together. Some people do raise the Noilers and the Broilers together, but I don't encourage that because it's not really good. Just like it's not good to rear Broilers and layers together when you're doing your brooding. For the fact that you're brooding them simultaneously doesn't mean that you mix them up both together. Because these birds are coming from different hatcheries. So you need to differentiate them, follow them up differently because they have their different approach. These guys over here can adapt to cold more better than these guys, of which these other ones cannot adapt to cold the way these ones will during this brooding stage. Like in the next 2 weeks, these birds will be off from brooding, whereas these guys will still be in brooding for the next 3 weeks. That's like they are supposed to stay in brooding for 4 weeks, which is quite different from the Broilers. The Broilers, in 2 weeks, these ones are off brooding. In 2 weeks plus, that's when this one will be off from brooding. So rearing them, there are some little differences in rearing them. So the next thing I'll be doing this morning is to till this litter, because from my observation it is caking up already. So what I just have to do is to turn it up because it's really thick. So that's why what I'll be doing, I'll be turning them with my hands. I'm supposed to use a tiller, but it's because I don't have a tiller, I'll just use my hands, and this is quite a small setup. It's quite risky using my hands, but I will just take that risk to use my hands. Because why I say it's risky, because in the process of using hands, bare hands, the wood shavings might pierce into one's hands. So I'll just have to be very careful with that. But if you have gloves, it's ideal for you to use gloves. Using tiller when you're brooding to till the litters could be a risk. So ideally, it's even better to use your hands. But when you're using your hands, it's best to use a glove so that it will just do just fine. So here's what I'll be doing. I will just be turning these wood shavings because there's some level of thickness underneath, and on the top layers it's already caking. There are lots of the litters here. So what I'll do is I'll just use my hands to turn it upside down, so that the ones underneath that are still fresh will just come up on top. So you see, it will now make it look a bit fresher. So the birds are still on the antibiotics. Today is the 7th day in the lives of this Abor Acre. I'm supposed to give them their vaccine today or tomorrow, but I think I'll delay it a little bit. The first dose of vaccine, I'll delay it a little bit so that I'll just get to give all of them the vaccine simultaneously. So maybe in the next 3 days or 2, when the Ross308 will come up a little bit, that's when I'll do that. So meanwhile, anything I'm doing here, I just have to be a bit snappy about it because the weather is cold, so I get to put up the heat and cover them up. So stick with me, guys, while I'm undergoing this process. See, the birds are rushing to me. I don't think they are feeding okay, they are feeding properly. You know, sometimes when you're running birds, you need to also be checking their this sack here to be sure that they are feeding very well. So from my observation, I've checked about 3 of them. I noticed that they are feeding, so it's ideal, it's cool. Meanwhile, I noticed that their feet are finishing off quickly, and the birds are not really as big as I expected them to be in 7 days. Meanwhile, I will still check their weight later today to be very sure that they are growing very well. Let it not be that my eyes are deceiving me. But I don't like their sizes, honestly, because I'm expecting them to be much bigger than this. But I have to check the weight on a scale because eyes could be deceiving too as well, you know. But from the look of things, these birds are doing very well. When I go back from work, I noticed that we had one mortality on the Abor Acre section. Yes, it's the Abor Acre, one of the broilers. It was just lying down somewhere there, you know. So, but I think what I'll just do, I'll try to sustain the heat level. I'll try to sustain the heat level to be cool enough for them. These drinkers here are a little bit down. So one of the things I'll be doing this morning is to raise this part of the line up a little bit. You know, this end, the height level is okay enough for them. So but this end is low because they are not all inclined on the same height level. So I'll raise this end up a little bit so that it's not too low. And another thing again, so that the wood shavings do not tend to hook on the cup too much of it. Because when it's too low, there's every tendency that the wood shavings will cluster on this cup, which is not cool. It's not hygienic, because they tend to want to drink water from the cup too as well. So stick with me, guys. So guys, I think my job here today is done. I've added more kerosene to the stove, which is their heat source. Added more feeders here, added their feed and even their water, because their water was down. So I added the water. They are still taking antibiotics. And also over here, these Abor Acres, their feeders were dirty, so I had to wash them. You know, so it's very important for you to wash them. I'm also done tilling the wood shavings. You can see it's looking more fresher than how it was initially. So I haven't added an extra feeder for them. Although I don't really like this feeder because it tends to accumulate wood shavings on it over time. You know, so but I'll still make do of it to just have an extra feeder so that the feet don't get out before I get back from work, because I noticed that their feeding consumption is picking up a little bit. In fact, I'm still going to add one more feeder here before I go out, because these birds are more, so they need more feeders over here. So over here they have 2 feeders, which will still take them till evening hours. Even the Noilers too, I gave them 2 feeders so that they have enough feed that will carry them all through for let's say about 8 or 10 hours after now. So I think they are fine. Even their water source, I added more water. You know, for sometimes now I do economize the quantity of water I allow in the tank because of the carrying medication. So because if I put excess water, there's every tendency that the medication will get wasted, because you know these medications are supposed to stay for just 24 hours before they are changed. So since I'm using the nipple drinker, I have enough space to store water that will circulate for them over a long hours. But in as much as I have that a luxury, I do not waste the medication, so that we can cut down our overhead costs. So this is an overhead view of what we have, the different sections of the beds. Hope you can see, enjoy the view. So these beds are fine. So what I'll just do, I'll just cover them up and they will do very well. So thanks for watching this far. I hope you like what you're seeing, you watching this far. So click on the like button, and if you're new to this channel, please do well to subscribe, so that the algorithm will get to share this video to other people, so that they'll get to also enjoy the kind of knowledge you are also enjoying too as well. So I'll see you guys tomorrow when I'll drop new updates of what's happening in Ete Farms. So bye for now.